second they were tapped on the walls a few minutes ago, and then my water heater turned on sync, my fridge turned on sync, the heater on the wall clicked sync, whatever. But like, and then, last night I was listening to music. I was listening to this song. I forget what song. I think it's this ODB song. I don't remember if it was that one or a different one. But like, the Skynet machine was syncing up with the song like 100 times throughout the song. Like they'll sync up with songs when it like switches from like one verse to another and things like that. And they'll sync up like in between like the verse and the hook and the hook and the other verse and like shit like that. Or like when the song ends or begins. Or like when they say a certain word sometimes, or whatever, it'll sync up, and things like that. But it kept syncing with the song a bunch of times, like every couple of bars or something like that or whatever. It was like it kept syncing up with the song like over and over. So like the heater on the wall clicked, and then my water heater turned on, and then my neighbor coughed, and then there was a sound outside, and then there was somebody slamming a door in the hallway, and then or something like that. Like it was just like a chain reaction of different sounds, and they were like syncing up with the song like that, like just like one after the other after the other. So that was happening last night. There was a bunch of engine sounds last night. It was quiet last night. I was in my apartment. It was quiet for the most part. I mean, there was definitely stalking things happening, but it was quiet. It was quiet, kind of. And I like get ready to go outside, and then there's these engine sounds outside, just for like a second. And then I went outside, and like there was nobody out there. And then as I'm going back inside, I hear engine sounds again, like nearby, like really close. And they just like take off synced. So, and the last few days, there's been sirens again, like since Thanksgiving night, the sirens started again. So there was one on Thanksgiving night, and then there's been sirens since then again. Like they stopped for like 3 days or something. And then, but there's just been a few of them. There was one last night that drove by my apartment though. And then last winter, there was no sirens for like a week or something. Like whenever I was snowed in, whenever that was, it was like January or something, I think, or December. And like, there's no sirens and no train horns for like a week. And then they came back. And my water heater just turned off. But it's like they like let off to like it's like you get used to the sirens going off all day every day, so they let off the gas, they don't do the sirens for a while, and then they come back to drive you crazy again. I haven't heard a train horn in a few days. And then, like I said, I wasn't hearing my one neighbor for like a week or like 2 weeks or something like that. I didn't hear him at all or see him. I think like I didn't see him anywhere outside either or anywhere. I didn't hear him. Like I was like, did he move or something? And then it was like 2 weeks or some shit. And then like I heard him cough again one day or something. And then ever since then, he's been like coughing, blowing his nose, and coughing some shit. One thing I like about winter is how like the snow makes everything light up. It's like you can see everything. Like the light reflects off the snow at night. I saw his car in the distance. I don't know if he was a stalker, but I don't see any other cars or anything right now. I think I heard one when I got up out of bed, if I remember right. I don't know. Oh shit. So yeah, they were just like this morning, and they do that all the time. Yeah, like I've seen other TI's videos where like their neighbors are just like constantly, like their one neighbor is just constantly making sounds or whatever. My neighbors don't really. Sometimes there'll be shit like that happening, but not usually. It's usually just like they'll cough like one time and then another sound and then they'll be coughing again later or whatever. Or like they start talking synced and then they just keep talking. They're not like yelling or anything, though, they're just talking. But then sometimes they'll just like drop something really loud or just make it stomp or whatever, and it's just like extremely loud. Like a jump scare thing, or like. But like, I don't know. Sometimes they'll be making a constant sound or whatever. Usually it's coming from outside my apartment though. Unless they're like doing something in the hallway or whatever. synced arguments. Just like a staged synced argument. They were like yelling and shit. So I don't know if it was synced, but it sounded synced at certain moments. It might have been a real argument, or maybe it's a real argument, but then Skynet's like, sync it up. I don't want to sync it up. But then, like, my one neighbor, though, like, he'll be, like, arguing with people, with someone on the phone. And that definitely sounds synced. So I think that's definitely synced argument. And I've seen people having staged, like, arguments outside and shit and walking around. So it's weird. Here's like 3 stalker cars, 2 stalker cars, and 1 tail lift, all syncing each other. There they are. So yeah, it's been pretty quiet a few days though. Like I said, today's Sunday, so hopefully it's gonna be like most Sundays. It's gonna be quiet, morning and shit. Sunday mornings usually quiet because all stalkers are at church, and then they come out of church, and then they stalk. Just like Luke 20:20. And they don't read Luke 20:20. They read every other verse except Luke, or they don't read it, anything. They have the pastor read it to them. But they read every verse except Luke 20:20 though, and then they go out and stalk it. Just like Luke 20:20. I see a red car. I think he is synced with the AC theme of Simon Carter. The wall just clicked right now. So who's in here? What y'all up to? Going to church this morning. You should come to the Hillcats church. Welcome to church. It's Pastor Hillcat. Everybody donate to my church. I'm gonna pass around the Cash App and the PayPal collection plate. Everybody donate. I can buy a Lamborghini, and a giant stadium to build my church at. I keep seeing like cars driving by one at a time, and I don't know. Like I just saw a white car a minute ago, and I'm like, is it one? Just don't know, man. It's just a psychological rape that they do to your mind. They just rape your mind all day. They gang rape your mind with sinks and make you question everything and everybody. There's no sinks right now, I think. For a second. For a few seconds, there's been no sinks. I think this car just drove out synced with some type of sound outside or something. My refrigerator was clicking or turning on, and then the car is syncing with the AC thing outside my apartment turning on when it drives around the other corner. He synced with like some other machine thing out there or something when he drove out. Like I could barely hear it. And then it just turned off when this other car drove out. I think it was a red car, and I've been seeing a lot of red cars for like a week. As I mentioned on all my previous videos, as you can see on all of my previous videos for the past week, it's a lot of red cars. And I haven't made a lot of videos outside, but all of them have a lot of red cars. And then whenever I look outside my apartment window, I see a lot of red cars. And then, yeah, it's been a lot of red cars. I see people walking. I think I saw a light turn off, and there's probably seats. There's just one light turning off. So that unless the light bulb went out. unless it's that, it's probably synced. I don't know about the people walking. They probably walked out synced or something. I missed it. This car is syncing with the AC thing outside my apartment turning on. It just goes on and on and on and on. And it just don't stop. And if I don't look out my window, then they're just making sounds. And they're shooting frequency weapons in my ear. Directed energy. Directed energy weapon, 5G weapon, whatever it is. It makes my ears ring, and then radiating my So I don't know. I'm trying to think about what else happened recently. I know there's been some crazy shit. It always is. I don't think I saw anything yesterday where they were like placing things on the ground, like gloves and shoes and shit. I don't think I saw that yesterday when I walked around. I went outside twice, I think. I didn't see anything like that. So I don't know if they're done doing that or what. If it's coming back. There's not a lot happening out there right now, though, so that's cool. But I bet if I go out there, there will be more happening. Like, the second I walk out the door, there's gonna be like 10 cars. And then there's just gonna be constant cars. Probably not a lot of them because it's Sunday morning, but constant cars. I bet it's gonna be constant if I go out there right now. If I just run out there right now, even they might be delayed a little bit, and they'll be like right up the block, and they'll be like speeding up to meet me. If I just like don't put any shoes on or anything, and I just like get up and sprint out the door right now. But then again, I said it, so if I do it now, they're gonna be prepared probably, because I said it. They're like, he might sprint out the door because he's talking about it. But then again, they can probably read my mind, so they know that I'm not going to, even though I'm saying it. I don't know, man. Can they? Is it? I think they can read minds a little bit, but I don't know if it's that sophisticated or what. How sophisticated is it? I don't know. I think they can read your mind though, at least in a sense they can, or whatever. Yep. So right now it's quiet. There's nothing happening. It's completely quiet. That's rare. Except like at night, sometimes it gets completely quiet. But then like the last few nights though, it hasn't. It's been like constant synchronizing pretty much. And then like when I have my heaters on, like they're always clicking sync. So like, unless I turn them off, like it doesn't stop sinking. And the water heater's gonna sink, and then my refrigerator's gonna sink at some point. And like my refrigerator, like compressor thing, like it has to turn on at some point, so like it's gonna sink when it does. And so it's never long before things start sinking in. The heater on my wall is click sink. So it's just like an inescapable sink prison of psychological sink torture. You can't escape unless you go to the woods or something, but then a plane's gonna fly over your head, synced with a butterfly flying by or some shit, probably. I don't know. I need to go to the woods and find out. Hit my Cash App so I can buy a car. Lamborghini. And I can drive it to my super church and read the Bible to people instead of them reading it. Like a lot of people, like most people, most Christians, it seems like they just go to church, they just have the pastor read a Bible verse to them, or a few verses to them, and then they go home and they don't read the Bible, and then they go to church and then they have the pastor read a few verses to them, and then they go home and they don't read the Bible. So like all the Bible that they know is like what the pastor reads to them in church, and like they don't read the whole Bible in church. It's just like select verses. It's just like, and like I've never read the whole Bible still, but like what I know of the Bible is from church is like Noah's Ark, Adam and Eve, but then they don't tell you what firmament means when they read the Adam and Eve story. They're just like, they don't tell you that part. Noah's Ark, Adam and Eve, Moses splitting the Red Sea, and Moses with the Ten Commandments and the golden calf and the Jesus story, except they skip Jesus's like teenage years or whatever, or they skip like his whole like childhood, and then he's just like an adult, and then Jesus story, like pretty much the whole Jesus story, and then the crucifixion, of course, they like focus on that mostly. And it's like a death cult, and then they eat Jesus's body and drink his blood. Like, that shit's weird to me. It's like a cannibalism like ritual. when you think about it. It's like, I don't know. That just seems like that's something like the Catholic Church came up with after they assassinated Jesus, and probably ate him or some shit. Probably ate him, drank his blood, literally, and his adrenochrome or whatever. And then they turn it into a church ritual. Because who killed Jesus? The Romans. The Roman Catholic Church. Jesus was killed by the Romans, and there's the Roman Catholic Church that is run by adrenochrome pedophiles. What was I saying though? I don't remember. Come to my church, donate to my church, Cash App, PayPal, pass the Cash App, PayPal collection plate around, and put a couple dollars in it or something, so I can buy Maserati. Or whatever. But yeah, there's like a park around here. There's like a park on the other side of town. Like there's some nature out there. A little bit, like they got like a trail out there and there's some trees and shit. And it goes like out into the woods and stuff. So I could walk. I mean, I can't walk there now because it's too cold. It's winter time now. But like, I could walk over there. It's kind of a far walk, but it's not that far. But if I had a car though, then I could go out in nature more. But when I'm here though, it's just constant sinks. It's just constant, pretty much constant sinks. Unless I like make myself deaf and blind. Which I don't want to be deaf or blind. I just want them to stop sinking, though. So, I'm not gonna gouge out my eyeballs, but that's literally what I would have to do. How's Skynet after me? They sink non-stop, like I said, and they shoot directed energy weapons at my head, and they try to destabilize and financially destabilize and dehumanize and destroy and is detarded and There's a red car. He synced with this whitey, I think. Main character syndrome. Yeah. My camera's got main character syndrome, and now you got it because you watch my videos and you see things happening right in front of it. So now you're the main character. This whitey truck turned right as the heater on my wall clicked. Whitey truck. There's another car that's just sitting in the parking lot, turned on for a minute, and I don't know if it's probably about to do something. Hopefully not. Hopefully it does regular things. Bless you, bro. Hope you get your head out this hole it's in. One love, bro. At this hole it's in. What? I see soccer car going on the parking lot, synced up with the other ones. And it's a whitey. It's coming in the parking lot. It's a whitey car. He's parking right behind the other cars turned on. And then a light turned off right when he parked. The light on the side of the building turned off right when he parked. It's like behind him, kind of, the light. Ta-da! Da-da-da-da! See a truck with a trailer on, he's gonna sink. Yup, he synced with a whitey truck. Truck with a trailer with the boat trailer. Probably the same one that I saw the other day. It was like, I don't know if it's the same one. Life's too short to live in constant paranoia. Hope you figure yourself out soon, mate. Paranoia? Do you know what that word means? Go look it up. What does it mean? Come back and tell me. What's the definition of paranoia? What's the definition of paranoia, man? If somebody's standing out here and they're like talking to this car or whatever, and then they like turn and they're like facing my apartment, and I think they're like staring at me, like way over on the other side of the parking lot. I'm just like standing there talking to this person in the car that's been sitting there parked there for 10 minutes or whatever. So I think they're doing the same things. I don't know. I can't tell if she's staring at me. Like, I can't see her eyes or whatever. She's so far away. But it looks like she's looking over at my window or whatever. And they always do that. Oh, she just got in the car. I guess it was her car, I think. She was just like standing outside there smoking a cigarette. She just got in it. And then a whitey truck was driving through the intersection right after that. Oh, she's taking off. I think she's synced with this AC thing outside or whatever. And possibly my water heater. It's making these weird noises. I think it is synced with both of those things. There's a black and a silver car synced with each other right now. There's two cars synced with each other right now. So I don't see them right now though. So like they just keep like come back and then they disappear. And it's just like doo-doo. It's just infinitely stock-hearted. What else can I say? It's infinitely insanely psychotically stock-hearted. That's the best word to describe it, is stock-hearted. I know it's not a real word, but it's one I made up. So it is a real word. It exists now. I need to make my own dictionary of like all the words I made up. I made up a bunch of words in like the cold fib 84 era, like cold fib 84, cold flu 84, face huggies, like face hugger from Alien, face huggy, like a face diaper. Like I made up like 1,000 words back then, and then I made up 1,000 sinkhead words, like sinkhead and like stocktard. Sink snorters. The sink crack snorters. So probably gonna go outside in a little bit. Just heads up to all the stalkers. Put on your red shirts and get in a blue car with it, or put on your blue shirt and get in a red car with it, or whatever. Put on your camo underpants, or whatever you do. And your red sock and a blue sock at the same time. And then go out with your A113 license plates and your 33 license plates and drive around me and drive around circles and shit. I'm coming, I'm about to go outside. I don't know when, but stay tuned.